Episode 3.
Good morning. So in this episode, we're gonna do a memorial of all the people who fell.
Yeah, also, first of all, the thanks to Hashem for those who were returned. May the rest of them
Yes.
be returned. A memorial to those who fell.
And I just want to bring a mention from a nevuah of Zechariah.
The prophecy
said-
of Zechariah.
And he said that, כה אמר אדוני צבאות, עוד ישבו זקנים וזקנות ברחובות ירושלים, עוד ישבו זקנים וזקנות ברחובות ירושלים, ואיש משענתו בידו מרוב ימים.
So
Basically-
let's start with that part. So says Hashem's voice is a certain iteration of Hashem's name.
God in his army.
God's voice. God, the God of legions. God
God of
is
legions.
Yeah.
There will be days
Mhm.
that old men and women will sit in the street of Jerusalem, and every single one of them will have like their, like the cane with them.
The stick in their hand, their cane in their hand.
From they are so old and they can barely walk. ורחובות העיר ימלאו ילדים וילדות, משחקים ברחובותיה. And the street of the city will be full as well of not only the old people going to be there, and because from the old days, and we're like, oh, we were here from Beis Hamikdash. No, it's also going to be a lot of young people, young generations playing and filling the street with laughter.
It's not going to be like
And-
it's not going to be like Pittsburgh. There'll be young
Yes.
people too.
You're calling me old. Anyway, and it's going to be, the street of Jerusalem is going to be full of kids playing joy and laughter, and old people having naches, shopping naches, and it's going to be beautiful. And amen.
Amen. It's interesting because it connects to some things the Rebbe spoke, the Lubavitcher Rebbe spoke about on the 11th of Cheshvan, which is I think tomorrow.
No,
Tomorrow
is
is 10th,
Yud.
no?
Friday
Oh.
will be.
Today's no.
Sorry, today's test.
I think it's your tip.
No,
Anyway,
my daughter's birthday is on Yud, and it's tomorrow.
you better double check it. Anyways, it's coming up the next couple of days,
Just checked it this morning.
and so this was on Yud Aleph, which is tomorrow, okay? And the Rebbe says this is in 1977. It was Tafshin Lamed Ches, 5738. So it was actually given from his room. This was after the heart attack.
Oh.
So Simchas Torah was the heart attack. The first time he came out was Rosh Chodesh Kislev. So 2 weeks later.
Simchas Torah was the other time?
Yeah.
I thought it happened in the oil.
Mm.
It's a different story.
It was in 770
Okay.
during a Kavos. Or by the Farbrengen after a Kavos, whatever it was. And so anyway, but in the meantime, he was still giving sichos from his room. And he talks exactly about what's happening now. It's amazing. When you listen to it, you would think that it was today he gave the sicha. And he talks about the land of Israel. And there's a couple of things he talks about there. One of them is the fact that it's God's gift. It's not one of the mistakes that they make now.
It's London gave
it's
it to
because
us.
it's London. It's because it's a democracy. It's an important ally to America. Because if you want to sound really, if you want to play the race card, so to speak, because the Holocaust never again. That's not why we got the land of Israel. It's a gift from God, and it's a gift from God. It's our inheritance. And so the Rebbe talks about the idea that when we embrace this thing, that we're like, as long as we ourselves don't embrace this thing, the nations won't embrace it. The second we will embrace it, not just Israel, and it means that there's no territories of Gaza and West Bank. That's the land of Israel, and it's our job to settle it all.
You're getting into an
Yeah.
issue. If it's our, because God is here, Bibi is going to lose his whole campaign.
Also, but no, and that's
That's a big issue.
that's the other point the Rebbe makes is it's God's gift to who? To the children of Israel. The children of Israel. That's why. Yeah. So the Rebbe,
It's in our name, the light.
So the Rebbe
Israelites.
basically he suggests two things. One of them is he says when they will see that we ourselves believe that it's, and not just that, the West Bank, Gaza, it's not territories, it's not occupying, it's not we want them to leave us alone. It's Gaza is ours, the West Bank is ours, the entire land of Israel is ours because it is a gift from God. When we will embrace that, not only that, we will see not only they won't fight it, they themselves will embrace it.
Yes.
They're fighting it because we don't believe it for me.
And taking it a step further is who is the one that we didn't kill completely? The Plishtim?
The Amalek.
The Amalek. This is a different.
There was
story.
Agag.
Agag,
the Plishtim also.
Plishtim also.
We left them to
The
live
Navi
there,
told
yeah.
us that they're going to be nitzim.
Yeah.
If you're not going to kill them all and take them all out of the land, I'm not talking about today. Okay, I'm talking about back
those
then,
things.
though. Back in the good old days, they didn't want to they didn't. The Am Yisrael became liberal not today. Am Yisrael was liberal in the times of Moshe Rabbeinu.
No, but it was the same sort of thing. It was let's negotiate with Hamas.
No, they didn't need to go negotiate. They just were like, we already killed so many. We don't have to keep killing.
Right.
God told you, take the land,
Right.
clear it out, make it a Jewish empire.
Settle the whole thing. Settle the entire land of Israel. That's our job.
Yeah.
And
nationality.
And again, like the Rebbe says, not only will that not lead to war, it's for their good, because then they're also going to accept that. They're going to realize, because it says that's going to be is Hallelu Hashem Kol Goyim. All the nations will praise Hashem, and they will all want to do Hashem's will.
Everybody wants Arabite.
And then the other thing he says is that's why it's in these times it's important to act, because being that who did he give it to? He gave it to the Israelites. It's important to act like an Israelite, and therefore it's important to do another mitzvah, do the tefillin, tzitzis, so women lighting Shabbos candles. These things are very important, because that is part of the bond that makes it our land.
Yes.
And so it's important to do that. Amen. We should develop a new technology where we can make Turkish coffee like this and send it
to all the clients.
Yeah, send it like over the through a live cast out of the computer will come such a Turkish coffee. Okay,
but you're gonna have a problem because the mud is gonna get the
It's gonna get into
the fibers.
It's gonna mess up getting the fan and everything. Okay, now we're going back into Likutei Moharan. Quick recap. So there's a few things that we did up until now. First, there was the introduction, how do you call it? It was the blessing that for and then second,
a request from God to make
it successful, go well.
Yeah,
and then, by the way, that includes not only his writing of the book, that when we read it. So why do we read it? So let him just say this prayer. Now, because the whole point of it is that also when we read it, it helps that our learning of it should go well.
Yes.
The first thing he says is know that that your prayers are accepted. How are your prayers accepted?
Through learning.
You're learning Torah.
Yes.
Okay, and then he's going to move on to another.
And it's not only that's why it's accepting; it's also lifting up the grace.
The grace.
Charm,
so that's the second.
The grace
thing.
and
That's
charm.
Right.
No, it's still the first thing.
No, but in other words,
the second sentence.
But he didn't connect them.
Doesn't matter, but he says it.
It's because they're connected. I'm trying to make it suspenseful, so I'm not letting them know it's connected yet. Okay, they're not connected yet. There's one thing that your prayers are accepted by learning Torah.
Yeah.
Then he goes into what seems like another fact, which like William is saying here, he's going to connect us pretty soon. Is that the grace of the Jewish people?
You're getting it all wrong, because he is connecting it. He said to you.
I know that's only he said it in one.
He said it. It's connected, but he's going to explain how it's connected soon. But it's a one thing.
Okay, it's connected.
It's a one thing.
But he didn't say how. And also part two of the first thing.
Okay. You are very stubborn.
No, I'm just trying to put them as distinct thoughts, so that the thoughts can then be. Being that the whole thing is understanding it through Chacham. So the second thing is that the grace of the Jewish people through our sins have fallen in these times. Meaning the grace of the Jewish people means that we're supposed to be out there teaching the entire world that he and his name are one. That he is Avaya who took us out of Egypt, etc., etc. However, our grace has fallen. Meaning we can't influence people properly because our grace has fallen. But how do we fix that?
Through learning Torah.
Through learning Torah also. And then he explains what does it have to do one with the other, because Chen is made out of two letters, Ches and a Nun. That the first letter, the Ches, represents Chachma, right? That's the intellect. Yeah. And the Nun is Malchus, right? Which Malchus is more action. So what happens is when you get
how do you know that Nun is Chachma? I understand. Ches is you can say it's Chachma. But what is the Nun? Why is Nun?
Because it's the Nun.
No, because they said in Tehillim, Lifnei Shemesh Yanun Shmo.
Yanun Shmo, yeah.
So Nun is the name of the sun, and sun is representing the kingdom of the skies.
Right, the moon.
The moon. No, the moon is
the sun and the moon.
The moon. Oh, because the sun, the moon said you cannot have two kings under one crown.
Right, but that's right. So he got it right. So really, but they have this sun. The moon is only reflecting the sun, right?
And the moon is Chachma.
Other way around. because the Malchus is the moon, and it's receiving the light
No.
from Chachma.
נון שהוא בחינת מלכוס, כמו שכתוב לפני שמש שנשבו, פירוש רש"י לא של מלכוס, וזה בחינת לבונו, כי לבונו אין לה אור מעצמו, כי היא מה שמקבלת מהשמש. וזהו
Right.
בחינת מלכוס, זה
Ki imash megal מהשמש, yeah. V'zehu Malchus, the leis megal meklum, and that's Malchus.
Okay,
Because Malchus,
yeah.
remember, Malchus really ultimately is expression. It's how I express myself.
Oh, so
But with no Chachma, how do I
the
express?
noon is the Levana. Yeah.
So how do I express myself?
Anyway, let's
Right? I
to
can't
recap-
express.
to
Here we go.
recap.
Yeah. So I can't express myself. So therefore, now then he goes into after that. He goes into the same idea. Is you have the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. You have the good inclination, the evil inclination. That the evil inclination is when the Malchus is cut off from the Ches of the Chachma, meaning when it gets cut off from the Torah.
Yeah.
But when you connect the Ches and the Nun, meaning that you're able, through learning of Hasidus, you're able Torah also, but even Torah,
even
for sure,
even Litfish.
Yeah.
Torah.
No, especially with the the Litfish.
I'm gonna get stoned here, not in a good way.
It's okay. We're gonna that's how we always have that's why there always needs to be an escape pod to Uman.
Yes.
Because they won't follow you there. You don't have to worry they'll follow you there.
I know.
Anyway, so the Torah, through the Torah, we connect it to the Nun. We're connecting the sun to the moon, and we're connecting the Chen, the Ches and the Nun is Chen, and that's how we get our grace back, because we're giving the power to the Yetzer Tov, and we're taking the power away from the evil inclination.
And this is what he says, that once you're connecting to the Chochmah and the Malchus, then it's V'naseh Levano Ke'orach K'shezeh Kam v'zeh Noifel. Basically, through that you can get them both.
It's always right. It says by Yaakov and Esau, by Jacob and Esau.
Like every time they went next to a mosque,
but either
he wants to come out.
But always either he's on top, and then when he goes on top, he's falling, and when he's on top, he's falling. So therefore, by learning Torah, we make that the good, and by the way, what's interesting is not just good. That's within us personally, but a human has a global effect. That means that we make, even like when we're learning Torah, we have an effect on Israel, that the good rises and the bad falls.
Right.
Now the question is, what does that have to do with what we said before? We spoke about why with the grace. So that's the grace. Yes. That's why the Torah raises our grace. But wait, the first thing he said before even it raises our grace is that our prayer answered. Why? So why is
now you have grace? No,
that's
what my brain said. Like if this helps you to get your grace, if you have grace, now you have grace. Even now
you have grace, so therefore your prayers are accepted 100%.
Oh wow! Because without grace, you could go ask somebody for.
You're not gonna get answered.
You know. I don't want to say it out loud, but there is kids in shul who come to ask the rabbi for a second lollipop, and he's like, "You had already once." And there's other kids with a little bit of grace.
So, yeah.
And they're like, the rabbi says, "You know what?
Okay, all right. Exactly.
Grace makes a difference. Sorry, I don't.
But
what
does it mean? So why is it that way? Because the person you were asking from was moved in some way. You made a difference. You caused something by the person you're asking from.
Yes.
Continue.
ועל ידי זה נתקבלים כל התפילות והבקשות, כי עיקר מה שאין נתקבלים מהבקשות הוא מחמת שאין לדברים כן.
Right. So there's no grace. That's why
through learning Torah, all the tefillas and requests from Hashem getting accepted. Why? Because the main things that stuff are not getting accepted is because they don't have grace in the way it gets asked or whatever it is. ואין נכנסים בלב של זה שמבקשים ממנו. And it doesn't go into the heart of whoever
the person that we're asking, that they're requesting it from. Yeah.
Like you have probably many people like go to the DMV to get stuff getting done or whatever, like any official thing, and they missing a paper here, a paper there. Sometimes the guy's gonna be like, whatever, like you have a good connection, a good moment, and sometimes with the same, like a different guy, the same person will go another time and go sit with another, and like no. It's all about.
I'll give you an example. There's two people come to the DMV. Okay.
Yeah.
One guy goes up to the counter and he's like, "Hey, lady, give me your driver's license." Okay, how? Now she has a job to do, but if it's on the border, like she's not gonna go out of her way to help this person. And then somebody else comes and says, "Oh, good morning. Where's this bracelet from?" She says, "It's my mother." "Oh, your mother has such wonderful taste." "Oh, now again, just as others, the difference is this lady.
It's a good example. It's a good example.
Yeah.
But I could show you so many places that it's not about how you come to talk. It's about your grace. If you have a charm, you can come, hey, lady. And
You're
everybody
right.
gets food, and you can come with all of this charm. It'll be like, oh,
Like,
this
oh,
grace.
you're right.
And she's like, stop licking.
They're also
Move on.
right. It's also a good example.
It's the
No,
grace
okay,
is
the main thing.
in
But the main thing is, remember, all of this is just an allegory. The difference being the lady at the DMV.
It's the same lady.
No, but not just that. That's the same lady.
But
However,
sometimes you change.
no, but
your
however,
heart.
the lady at the DMV is limited in what. At the end of the day, there's certain limitations of her job. So she might. You can within this little thing, you can lean her here, you can lean her there. God Almighty is.
You have no limitation.
So when you're asking Him, and it's with Chain, it's not just that like. It means it can do things that's not.
And now you get you chen, you charm, learn more Torah. איווה. כאילו אין בליבו מקום שיכנסו הדברים בליבו, מחמת שאין לה מבקש חן, שיכנסו הדברים בליבו, זה שמבקשים ממנו. Basically, he's saying it further in, that the main reason that you don't get stuff accepted because they don't have charm, and it doesn't go into the heart of whoever get the request, you know? It's like they don't have room in the heart for this.
So, yeah, you didn't move me. I'm not moved.
I'm not. Yeah, like come on. Be more
compassionate.
Compliant. No.
What's the word in Hebrew?
תשכנע אותי יותר. Convince me better, but in a nice.
Be more convincing. Be more.
In a more intellectual
right,
way.
Yeah, there is one for it. My English is better. I know which word you're talking about too.
All my English is in here. I can't bring it out.
Mine is waiting to get in here. Didn't even get in here yet. Yeah, so.
אבל על ידי התורה, שעל ידי זה נתחברים ונתקשרים, הנון והחטא כנ"ל, ונעשה חן, ועל כן נקראת התורה יעלת חן.
Right.
Basically, but even though your word have not a strong, even though your words do not have a strong charm, if you do sit down and learn, you know, the ideal is, as Rabbi Nachman said, to have learned every year, finish the whole halachas and the Gemara every year. But even if you cannot do that, even one word a year, it's something. So basically, sit down, learn once a week, once a month, once a day, something. It will bring you charm to
bring it charm. All right, and we have our first phone call.
I'm in the middle of something. I can call you back. I will. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye. All right.
So the question we just had on the line was, how again do you get the charm you need for your praise to be accepted? And the answer, of course, is through Torah.
Yes. What he said. He knows what he's talking about.
I just, even Nachman knows what I'm talking about. Then I smile and say his words.
אבל על ידי התורה שעל ידי נתחברים עליה, ועל כן נקראת התורה.
Right, so the Ches and the Nun come together, the Chachma, the sun and the moon come together, because when you learn Torah, what does Torah do? Torah but Torah, what's the Chachma? The Chachma means what he was saying before is that through Torah you're able to see how everything in the world is godliness, etc., etc. Yes. So that's because the Chachma. That's because your brain. You need your brain to do that.
Through looking into
that comes into
sense, what makes sense behind stuff.
And then that comes into the Nun, into your thought, speech, and action.
Yes.
And now you have
and
charm.
This is why the Torah is called in Mishle. Okay, Ya'alat Chen.
The dough, the charming dough. Like it's Ya'el. It's like an antelope or something like this. No, it's kind of deer.
It's like a deer, kind of a deer.
Yeah, but it's a girl deer.
Yeah.
It's a doe.
Oh, it's doe.
Not a John doe, a Jane doe, because it's a girl deer. Yeah.
Jane Walker.
Yeah. No, that's Johnny. That's
no, they made a version of.
Oh, really? Did I?
והאזי זוכה שדבריו הם דברי חן. And through the learning is getting a zchus that his words have charm. It's a little bit repetible, but it's in different, so you could get all the angles of everything.
Yeah.
ואזי נתקבלים דבריו ובקשותיו. כמו מי שמדבר דברי חן, and this is what, through that it's going to get accepted, all the requests and davening through Hashem. Like somebody who's, speaking with diamonds.
Diamonds.
His words are
become it's even, and that's interesting. It's, in other words, it's the same words.
Yeah.
Especially when you look, even though obviously,
שנכנסים הדברים בלב המבקש,
right,
דהיינו שמבקשים ממנו, וזה בחינת
right.
תף.
So that's the
Wait,
words
now-
go
now
into the heart of the one who we're asking.
Now it's getting a little bit more complicated because
Yeah.
we were having chen. Where is the taf coming in?
Yeah,
We'll get
where did
there.
tough come from? We'll get there.
We'll get there.
So what does he
And-
say about the tough? That he's saying that
accepted
right,
in someone's heart
the chain, the ches, the nun, the charm, right, the grace
makes
it go into the
someone's
heart
heart.
of he who we're asking from.
Yeah.
And
And
this
in
is
this
the
case, it's
idea
Tav.
of the letter tough.
Yes.
That from we'll find out.
And this is a pchina. When it's get accepted, it's creating a pchina. How do you say a pchina in English? An essence of taf. היינו על ידי שנתחברו ונתקשרו, החטא והנון, once you have a connection between the חטא and the נון, ונעשה ממנו בחינת חן, and this is creating a חן, על ידי זה נעשה בחינת תף. And through that, you're getting an essence of תף. שהוא לשון חקיקה או רשימה, the תף is like
engraving and marking.
כמו שכתוב, ויתבס התו. Basically, a
Right,
tav is also...
that means you should engrave a line.
A tav is like a letter.
But isn't it also a line also?
בכל תו ותו, it's a letter.
Yeah.
In Hebrew, accords.
Tavim.
What is there in the music?
Tavim.
How is it in English?
It's not chords. It's just the notes, staff. It's like the staffs and the musical notation. Musical
notes. So in Hebrew, it's called tavim, because and also talking about like bekutza shel yud, like when you're talking about the ilchos sefer Torah, we have a chol tav etav. Everything is chol tav etav. It's every letter and letter. So basically, it's a reshima. Right. It's not an engraving. It's more like writing.
But the nidvesa means, and you should engrave letters. Yeah. So it shows that there's a thing of engraving.
So make outlines.
Yeah.
Make an outline of a letter. It's
I think it's just you scrape it in, but it's
כי על ידי החן נחקק ונרשם. Yeah. Okay. But through the חק, you're getting an engrave and a writing. במקום בלב המתבקש. Basically, you're getting a space in the heart of whoever who is getting the request. לקבל הבקשה, to accept the request. כי על ידי החן נתקבלו דבריו. Because through the חן, you got to accept, שנמצא שבחינת החן חקק מקום בלב זה שמבקשים ממנו, כדי שיכנסו דבריו בליבו ויקבל בקשות, והחקיקה הרשימה זה בחינתיו. And the engraving and basically you got a room.
So through chaim, through grace,
basically
this causes an engraving, meaning in the heart of who you're asking. Okay, there's no space for you right now.
Right.
But by engraving, what happens when you engrave into a rock? You make space.
Your charm, you
make space in there. And now there's a place for your tefillot, for your prayers to enter.
Yeah.
נמצא שבחינת החן חקק מקום בלב זה שמבקשים ממנו כדי שיכנסו דבריו בלבו ויקבלו בקשתו, והחקיקה הרשימה זה בחינת תו כנ"ל. וזהו דברי חכמים בנחת נשמעים. Basically,
נחת. What's נחת? What's the letter of נחat?
1 second. In Koheles it's saying that דברי
wise people words get accepted only when they are in
but nachas means in
calmness.
Calm and
So basically, if you have something you want to say to
and also
friend,
like in a peaceful way.
If you want to get somebody, you want to get across a point across to a friend. If you're gonna come and sit down when he's calm and you're calm and have a conversation, listen, you know, the other day you did something, you said something. I personally think that whatever, you know, and come in with it might get across. It might kill you, but
No, when it's
but if you're coming in with an attitude,
we can yell at each other and it works, but don't try this at home. Generally, but then again, this was talking about chachamim, about wise people. We can do it, but if you're wise, it's not going to work. You have to do it in a peaceful way, and then your words will come across.
So basically, you're disrespecting yourself.
No, because it's higher than wise and lower than wise. I didn't say which one.
Because
there's a higher than chachma, there's a lower than chachma. In other words, there's a connection.
There was a story with basically, Reb Nachman was talking to Reb Nosson, his Talmud, and he told him that somebody have issue with Parnasa is because he doesn't have emunah.
Yeah.
And Reb Nosson felt in his heart like, I don't have emunah. I'm a größer tzaddik. I'm a ma'amin. What do you mean by that? and Reb Nachman felt that, I don't remember if either Reb Nachman felt that he thought that or he actually told him that. And Reb Nachman told him, yes, if you do have emunah in the Eibishter and you still have issues with parnasa, it means you don't have emunah in yourself. Basically, you don't have faith in yourself that your capability that God gave you. So,
which is the same
So-
thing. Which
so-
is the same
so-
thing as not having having
excuse
emunah.
me. Excuse me.
The same thing as not having emunah.
Yes. No, why? You could have emunah.
No. But I'm saying, but if you don't have emunah in yourself, there's a level of you, and this is in many places. There's a level of you that's lacking. Why? Because what you're telling me, he sent me here with he sent me here down onto this world on a mission without giving me the tools for that mission. That's not a proper emunah. The emunah means that now he sent me here, and no, so it's true. It's not
Why?
It's not from my own power, but I
can show you. I can show you many people who are like, yeah, the kalim that he sent me is not to have money.
Well,
This is what God gave me.
fine, buy it.
Whatever. But
I know, but I'm saying, but that's
I
but
get what you
but the fact is that God sends us here with a mission, and He sends us here with what we need. Now it could be that we don't know our mission so good, and that's why.
anyway, we're getting sidetracked. The whole
Yeah,
point of
the
the
main
story, the main point of his story is like, yes, you are wise and you should know yourself and everything.
No, it's
That's-
above wise.
Okay, got it.
Like David.
about-
No, listen, David and Yonasan,
Wise,
right?
but-
Their friendship didn't come from intellect, didn't come from, oh, I like you, you're a nice guy. It says nafshok shurab nafshol. His soul was tied
Yeah.
to his soul. This is higher than wisdom.
right.
So David and Yonasan could yell at each other, and it would be
Right,
okay
right.
because they were higher than Chachma.
Right.
But
Anyway,
Chachma,
let's go back here. Divrei Chachamim benachat tishmoim.
Yeah.
Basically, wise people are getting accepted through calmness and
calmness and peace and peaceful
Oh,
ways.
in a peaceful
basically,
ways, yeah. נחס דייקה. היינו בחינת חן הנ"ל והטף הנ"ל, ועל ידי זה נעשה הנחת. נעשה אותנו ועד ראשונים דבריו ונתקבלים. Oh, through the charm,
Right.
you're getting room in this person's heart, and then you have the bchinas of taf. And when you put the
Right. So that engraves the thing.
when you
That the
put,
toughest
when you put the
engraving.
chen and the taf together, and you change a little bit the order of the letters, it becomes
Right.
nachat.
So nun, ches, taf, nacha. So it's the letters chen, ches, and nun, and it's also the letters of taf.
And it's great nachas. And once you
Yeah.
have nachas in someone's heart, it's coming across as peaceful request. And
Right.
not
And like we know that the peaceful request is
get
listened
accepted.
to.
Yes.
And so therefore it's a peaceful request that's listened to. So that's important. So how does it work? Let's recap this. You have the ches and the nun. The ches means that through learning Torah, you bond the chachma, right? The wisdom and the thought, action, and speech together. And then through this causes an engraving in Hashem's heart, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay, and that engraving is called a tov. And now the ches nun and tov is nachas. It's easygoing, peaceful way, and this is accepted by God because God loves peaceful and easygoing.
Yes.
And therefore He listens.
Beautiful.
To
You
the
put it
praise.
down. Beautiful.
Thank you.
ועל כן, יעקב, שהוא בחינת השכל כנ"ל, על כן זכה לחן.
Basically, that Yaakov, that is the bchina of seichel.
Of like
So in my
intellect,
belly.
logic.
Why didn't you tell me this in my
Well.
belly? Sorry, everybody.
Kelly's okay.
ועל כן, יעקב שהוא בחינת השכל כנ"ל, על כן זכה לחן, כמו שכתוב, כי חנני אלוקים.
Yeah.
בזה.
That Hashem, it means literally like Hashem gave
Because-
me, Hashem graced me with
Yeah.
this. So
ועל כן
Yaakov,
ברך את השבטים בחן.
Yeah.
And this why he blessed the שבטים with חן. כמו שכתוב, הילדים אשר חנן וכו'.
right. So you have when Yaakov blesses his children, he says these kids that he graced me with.
Yes.
So what? So
But through
so Rav
understand,
Nachman is
that's what I
explaining
said, that,
he's blessing them with grace.
And how do we know? Basically, he's saying, how do we know that Yaakov is bchinas
He has,
seichel,
right.
that is the brains of
Right,
Am
yeah.
Yisrael? Because the Abisha said, he said, ki chanani elokim, basically, and
That
we just
Hashem
said,
graced me.
and we
Yeah.
just said the chen is basically the sechel shebekol davar.
Right. It's
at
the,
the beginning,
it's
the
the
beginning,
intellect it's the brains that's in each thing. So I mean, so basically,
And he also gave this blessing to the Shvatim to be having chen,
Right.
but wait, ובנימין לא היה אז,
right. He wasn't there.
wasn't
yet.
there.
At the time.
ועל כן ברכו יוסף בחן.
Right. So Yosef, since Benjamin wasn't there when they were blessed, so Yosef
Yosef
gave
gave
him
him
his
the chen
brother.
because Yosef was basically
He was-
the Malchus.
and not only that, he was the direct extension of
Yes.
Yaakov. Was Yosef, right? Ela told this Yaakov Yosef.
Yosef, yes.
Yeah. I think he says it here even.
אלוהים יחונכו בני, כמו שכתוב, אלוהים יחונכו בני. ודווקא
Right.
יוסף היה יכול
Right,
לברך
may
בכן,
Hashem,
כי
so,
יוסף
so
היה
Yosef
ביותר,
tells Benjamin, may Hashem grace you, my
Yeah.
son.
כי יוסף היה כלול ביותר מבחינת יעקב. רגע. כמו שכתוב, אלוקים יחונך בני. Basically, Yosef said to
Benjamin,
Benjamin,
may Hashem grace you,
and-
my
and-
son.
and-
So he's
and-
blessing him with grace.
and he calls him my son.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Right, just right. Even though he's Yaakov's son, he's his brother.
So
So why?
he's,
So how can
he's
he call him?
actually his brother.
So he's really being an extension of Yaakov. Yeah.
ודווקא יוסף היה יכול לברכו בכן, כי יוסף היה כלול ביותר מבחינת יעקב. Basically, he was the shleimus of Yaakov.
Right. He was the completion of Yaakov.
כמו שכתוב, אלה תולדות יעקב, יוסף.
Right. These are the offspring of Yaakov, Yosef. Meaning it actually
Yes.
continues, but there's the way it comes
כי
out with the words.
כי הוא היה עיקר תולדותיו. Basically, he was the essence, the
Of, yeah.
main extension
Of his offspring. Yeah.
כי יעקב ויוסף כאחד החשיבי.
Right.
Because Yaakov and Yosef was considered to be mamash one.
So it turns out Yaakov was the brains of the whole operation.
Yeah. This is why we call עם ישראל.
Yeah. Right. It was also the brains of the operation.
ועל כן נאמר ביוסף, בכור שורו הדר לו. בכור הוא בחינת השכל כנ"ל.
Right. So what does that mean? Right. So it says by Yosef, the
בכור שורו הדר לו.
firstborn of his ox is like how do you say hadar? Is like
כי זה כאילו, it's like an esrog, you want a beautiful.
right. It's a beauty
the-
thing.
It's
It's
a beauty thing.
right.
And you guys can
beautified.
all be probably feeling the same way about your firstborn.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk
Don't
about
tell
it.
the other
Everybody,
kids, though.
everybody is equal. Everybody the same.
Right. So the firstborn of his ox is beautiful to him. So Bechar, what does Bechar mean? What is firstborn?
בכור is what? What do you mean?
Bechinas.
הוא בחינת השכל.
Canal. Right.
Canal.
Oh, like you said before.
Yeah.
Because why? Because why is it the firstborn?
Because
Reishis
he-
Chachma.
Reishis Chachma,
That's the
Yosef,
first thing. The
yeah.
first thing in any level is the seichel. Yeah.
וזהו שוירו, לא שנסתכלו, שורו. שוירו is shuru.
Yeah. That's what like
You know
to,
shuru, what shuru means?
like
Come and see.
See. Yeah.
shuru is in Aramaic, look. כי צריכים להסתכל בהשכל שיש בכל דבר כנ"ל. וזהו הדר לו. תרגמו לו זיו לי, לא שן אור.
Mhm.
כי
It's like a
השכל,
ray for yeah.
Yeah.
Lights up.
basically, other lo, תרגמונקולוס is like זיו לו, and ziv is like ziv השכינה, is the
Right.
light of the shchina.
Which is interesting because also when it says like Hadar Kaved Malchusai, right? In
Right.
Ashay, Hadar, if you look in the Middle Rebbe's explanation on the Siddur,
It means like,
Hadar means Ziv also.
Yes.
It's Hadar Ziv. Yeah.
תרגמונקולוס.
Hey, it's Bechinas Haida.
The Alter Rebbe,
Haida
the
V'ziv.
Mitzvah Rebbe
right?
also
Yeah.
תרגום.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
just saying. כי השכל מאיר לו בכל דבר, אפילו במקום שהיה אופל וחושך. Because even if you are in darkness and you know like even
Right.
physically darkness and
Right.
you're in a dark room and thing and you have some saints in your brains,
Right.
you will be able to figure it out and start you want to wait 5 minutes and you're going to get used to the dark. You're going to be able
Or
to
not
start
just
doing
that.
whatever.
Okay, I can start feeling along the wall. I can figure it
Yeah.
out with the brain. You can figure it out. Yeah.
So
Like
basically,
escape
so the brains can show you the way.
Right.
So it's the light even in the darkness. מאיר לו השכל. אפילו במקום שהיה אפל וחושך, מאיר לו השכל.
Right.
כשזוכה להסתכל על השכל שיש שם בכל דבר, הוא מקרב אותו להשם דבר. So basically, the
Right.
brains can show you the way.
Right.
And through that, you can understand how everything is connected to God.
Right. So that's and since that's how Yaakov was, and that's what that's why Bechir Shari Hadulai, the firstborn of his ox, is his beauty, right? Is which is talking about Yosef, meaning he was the firstborn of this. This explains the connection between them, because the firstborn means the seichel.
Yeah.
Shayra, his ox means look is like we said, looking. Right, by looking with the seichel, hadrloi, it shines the way. Looking with the seichel shines the way for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. All right. So right now, all of that till now was just the introduction for explaining the mama of Rabbi Bar Bar Chana. There is in I think it's in Baba Basra. There is a bunch of agaritas that start by Rabbi Bar Bar Chana.
Right.
And we're gonna talk here about a bunch. I think the first 7 terrorists are all, or maybe 8. Yeah, even the number, the Torah 8 is also about Rabbi. No, the first 7 is about. No, even the 8th. And the first bunch of terrorists is about
Rabbi Bar Bar Chona.
these different Agadas from Rabbi
Different
Barchona.
Agadas.
Right. Yeah,
And all of
they're,
this
by the
was
way,
the-
beautiful stories in and of their own.
Yeah.
But then the way Nachman
But
explains
those
them,
stories of Rabbi Bar Bachone are basically, it's almost like Disney, okay? It's like, it's abstract.
yeah,
It's very like, it
it's
almost sounds
it's
like
an
fairy
allegory.
tales.
It's like right. It's like
But it's not fairy tales. It's not just stories about what's happening in the
in the upper worlds,
upper worlds. And Reb Nachman is here coming and bringing a more understandable explanation. And all of this was just the akdama to actually the little agadate. And then he's gonna. So now we're gonna learn this actually thing from the Gemara Mamesh. It's like a few lines, and then he's gonna explain how everything is connected. Okay. So it says,
yeah. So I think today we're gonna have time to do the. Well, we might
That's
get
it.
through the whole thing. I think we can get through the whole thing. We might have to re-go over it next time also because it's anyway. Let's start.
וזה פירוש מה שאמר רבי בר בר חונה, אי גלה דמיטבא לספיניסה, מסחזה, כי צוסיתה דנורי חברתה, בריישה ומכין אלי בעלבתה דחוקי קלו אי אשר אהיה.
Yeah. So this is the explanation of what Rabbi
So-
Barchona says.
So Rabbi bar Chona
This
say,
wave
this wave
that
that
sinks
sinking
the ship,
it looks like
a spark
צוסיתה
of
דנורי
white
חברתה,
fire.
רשב"ם explains, צוסיתה דנורי חברתה, אש לבנה ומלאך מזיקו. It
Yeah.
looks like a
white
white
fire,
fire,
yeah.
and it's a mazik. It's an angel.
It's
of
a destroying
a destruction
yeah.
angel.
Yeah.
בריישה, ומכין לה, and the
And
way
we-
to kill it,
yeah.
to destroy it,
We smack it, right?
בעבלת
With a-
דחוקי קולו אשר
Yeah.
אהיה אשר אהיה.
a
basically
stick.
with a
We smack
stick.
it with a stick that says "I will be what I will be." This is the name. Ayash is the name that Moshe
Yeah.
Rabbeinu, Moses asks by the burning bush, and who shall I say sent me? And he gives him this name. It doesn't just mean tell them. It's not just he's making them say crazy.
So
I will
now-
be what
so
I
now
will be.
he's
That's
explaining
what
it.
that's his name is Ayash is. I will be what I will
Let's
be.
move on. Now it's explaining it. גלה,
What's this
הוא
wave?
היצר הרע, היא היצר הרע. דמית בא לספינוסה,
Right. So what's this wave? The wave that's coming to sink the ship is
Is
the
it
evil
a-
inclination.
דמית בא
What's the
לספינוסה,
ship?
הוא is sinking the ship, הוא אכן והחשיבות. Basically, it's the
know.
charm and the importantness. לושן ספון וחשוב. Oh, when you know, like somebody is important, he's sitting in his safun, he's like, you know, you have manners, he sits in his home, he sits in his office. He doesn't just works in the market, you know, and be like, what's up? You know,
Because
like,
he's got the big office
hello,
over him.
how are you?
Right.
You want a cup of tea?
Yeah.
You know, it's importantness.
Important.
So
this is the
ספון
grace.
וחשוב, ספון וחשוב, basically it's from the word of ספינה.
Yeah.
כי העץ הרע רוצה להטביע ולהשפיל חס ושלום מבחינת החן והחשיבות של ישראל, מבחינת מלכות הקדושה.
Right.
Basically, it's the Gale wants to sing the importance and the charm of Israel because it wants to fight the Malchus Kedusha.
Right.
Umitzchazeh-
Meaning, what does it want to do? It
Yep.
wants to take sustenance from the nun of
Yeah.
Chen, from the Malchus. And how does it do it? It needs to separate the Chachma from it.
Yes.
So he's trying to sink this Chen
ומשחק
that we
כי
have, this
צוסית
grace that we
דנורי
have.
חיבס ברשע, and he makes it look like a white fire, yeah?
Right.
כי מתחילה העץ הרע מתלבש עצמו במצוות, ומטעה את האדם כאילו מסיתו לעשות מצווה. He's like, you know, like you are about to daven. You are about to make a mitzvah, but how the Yitzhak is going to make you not daven today. He's going
Right.
to tell you, listen, there's somebody that needs to be having a ride to the hospital. I'm arranging you a different mitzvah.
Right.
Go do a different mitzvah. Just don't do the mitzvah you intended to
Right.
do. So he's basically is
Or
disguising himself.
the other way.
in a
By the way,
white
and
cloth.
you know what's so confusing? Because he can do it the other way around also.
Absolutely.
The other way around is somebody needs a ride to the hospital. No, but I was going to daven now. Which one? Wait, which one is it? See, this is the Yetzer Hara.
So-
He looks like a tzaddik.
So the right response is, give me 15 minutes. I'm going to go do Mr. Tefillin. And oh, no, wait, I need to daven also. Wait a second.
Listen, hey, I'm gonna put my towels in the like a big old house. I'm gonna put my towels in the fill, and I'll drive you to the hospital, and I'll daven at the same time.
Oh,
Who's driving that car? We don't know, but it got there. It got back.
a lot of shluchim lamokim.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically he's disguising himself
Self.
in a good deeds.
Right, he's looking like a tzaddik.
הוא מטעה את האדם, כאילו מסיתו לעשות מצווה. He's trying to like, oh, well, let's go do a mitzvah together. וזה בחינת צוסיתא דנורא חברתא.
אש לבנה, basically it's a white, אף על פי כן מלאך מזיגו, even though he's coming to you with a kittel, and like with the big gartel, and
He's looking like a holy guy.
and a nice
It's
Lubavitch hat or strap,
he's a
whatever
holy
it is.
guy.
And even though he's a bad
dude.
he's a mazik.
And he's a destructive angel.
הוא מכין אליי באבלסת דחוק אלוהי אשר יהיה. היינו שעיקר הכנעתו של היצר הרע הוא על ידי התורה. שהיא כולה שמותיו של הקדוש ברוך הוא. Basically, through sitting down and learning, this is basically what he's saying. You can save everything by sitting down and learning the Eilig Torah.
Right.
That
Why?
it's
Because it's the
full
name
with the name
of
of
God.
God. והתורה היא בחינת וו. And the Torah is בחינת וו. כי הלוחות אורכן וו ורוחבם וו.
Right. There's six hand breadths. Why? It's a cube. Each there were cubes of six tvachim.
Six tvachim, yes.
Yeah.
והוו הוא צורת מקל.
They're talking
And
about
the vov.
the tablets that were at Sinai. They were 6 by 6 by 6.
Luchas Abris,
And
basically.
therefore, yeah. And therefore the Torah is 6. Is the
וזהו בחינת הלבשה, דהיינו מקלות.
Right.
Wait a second.
It says you hit him with the stick of names. What's the stick of names? Is the vav of Torah.
Yeah, because why? Because always like a little
looks like a stick. Yeah.
And why it's a stick, it says on it all the אשר.
Yeah, all the names.
שמות בחינת אשר התורה, היינו שמות בחינת התורה, שהיא בחינת וו, והוו הוא צורת מקל. והיא כולה שמותיו של השם יתברך. And the entire stick is made out of the name of God. היינו שהתורה הקדושה, היא מכניעה את היצר הרע, שרוצה לעשות את האדם משוגע ממש.
So it
Basically,
it overpowers him. It's victorious over him or whatever. Yeah.
Because the Yetzer Hara wants to really drive the person crazy with all of their conspiracy theories about the Jewish runs the world. They do.
Yeah.
It's not a conspiracy theory. חס ושלום. כי בעל עבירה הוא משוגע. כמו שאמרו אבותינו זיכרונם לברכה, אין אדם עובר עבירה אלא אם כן נכנס בו רוח שטות. וכמו שהמשוגעים צריכים להכותם ולשים עליהם שמות, כמו כן ממש. This is the different times, okay?
Right. Back then when somebody was crazy, they would smack them a little bit because you have to get it out of it.
And put
they would put like an amulet that has holy names because
they thought it's like
no, by the way, nowadays it's just because we've become so like progressive and stuff. We don't really but really even now. I have mishulachim. They give me papers and stuff, and they get better. I mean, it made him money. I don't know. It did something. I don't know what it did for me.
You bought it from him.
Well, yeah.
Okay, it's a good business.
It's good stuff, anyway. But but
by the way, the Baal Shem Tov. This what why is it called the Baal Shem Tov?
Right. The
back then, the Baal Shem, Baalei Shem. There was a lot of Baal Shem.
Masters of name.
They were people who wrote kameas and give people refuahs.
Right. They would make amulets. They would write these special. And
by the way, he was a Talmid of Adam Baal Shem.
Right.
That he was also very
known for this thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, the Baal Shem Tov was a doctor. He was a doctor for your soul and for your spirit. And we are all
I'm a doctor
Sidim of the Baal Shem
Tov. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so what if somebody is crazy, they would hit him and put on these amulets in order to cure him. So he's saying the same thing. The only reason a person does an aveira, does a transgression, really every Jew wants to always only do God's will. But what happens is it goes into him a spirit of folly, a ruach shtus. He becomes crazy, temporarily crazy. Yetzer Hara makes him crazy.
By the way, you don't have to go so far to back then. Even today, like when you 16-year-old wants to do something so crazy that it's going to endanger him.
Right.
I don't know if you do it physically or verbally, but you shake his word up. You'll be like, "Hello,
right.
This is stupidity," and you send this through verbally.
Right, but there comes a point where you don't come to the kid and say, "Well, maybe there are better choices than heroin." No, you're like the kid's in danger. You're gonna yell at him. What's wrong with you? What's right? In other words, it's with strength.
And you basically sometimes you need to put sense to someone's brain through
when somebody becomes crazy.
Strengths.
When somebody becomes crazy,
through strengths, like what's happening in Israel right now. They got in the Gazians because there's no Palestinians.
The Gazians.
The Gazians. And by the way, Gaza.
I call them Jordanians.
Shimshon Agiber was in Gaza.
Yeah, Samson. Samson.
It's not a new city. It's a Jewish name, Gaza, whatever. And basically, they coming into Israel and try to do stupid stuff. And how you teach them like, yo, he's stupid. You give them a good whooping, you know?
You have to hit a little bit. What are you gonna do?
anyway, כמו שהמשוגעים צריכים להכותם ולשים עליהם שמות, כמו כן ממש התורה שעוסקינו בחינת מקלות ושמות. Basically, this is like ממש the
Right.
sticks in
It's a
the name.
makil. We said it's a vav. It's a
שבזה
makil. It's a
מקינו
makil of
מכנין,
his names.
they fall.
Yeah.
שבזה מקינו מכנין את היצר הרע.
Right.
Through that, you
Make
basically,
you surrender.
Yeah.
You like it.
ומגרשים מן האדם את השיגעון והרוח שוד שנכנס בו בחינת, ומכין עליו בהבל צדק חוק וגולי שמש. Basically, in this, how you basically chasing away from your brains all the unholy ideas and wishes that you want to do. And this is the bchina umachin le'ba'aval tedechok ugolei shemesh. Basically, and this is how you destroy this
Right.
white.
So
thing.
let's just recap that. You have this thing, right? That there was a wave that tried to sink the ship, and how did they get rid of it? They smacked him with a stick of Eyashayim.
Yes, and now
So-
we're connecting it to the first pasuk that we started all
We're about to
with
get to
Asher
that.
Tamim B'derech
We're
Halach.
about to get to that, but first, so let's just briefly. The wave is the Yetzer Hara. It's trying to sink the ship, which the ship is the Chen, is
Okay.
grace, right? Like we said before, we lost the
Defeat
grace. The way to get it back is to Torah. And how do you fend him off? How are you victorious against him? Through the Torah, which is the stick of his
Yes.
holy names. And now we're
And,
connecting.
and,
them
and,
all the way back
we
to-
also said that this, even though sometimes he can disguise himself in good stuff, like pretending out,
Right.
we're gonna go do good stuff, and through that
Right.
he's gonna
And that's how he tries
slowly.
to sink you. Yeah.
It's almost like this, whatever. I don't want to sidetrack. וזהו
זהו,
אשרי
אשרי.
בדרך, אשרי לשון הסתכלות.
Right.
It's like, it's boinenus.
Right. So usually this means praised are those who are simple in their path.
מי דרך, בחינת יעקב אשתם,
Right. So Ashrei is
מבחינת
what?
השכל.
Ashrei means
לשון
looking.
הסתכלוס.
Okay. Means besides you mean you just praise
אשרי
it.
יושבי בשכל. Look at those people who are sitting
Yeah.
in the,
Right.
you know?
Okay, very good.
יעקב אשתם, שהוא בחינת השכל, basically, look at those תמימי דרך.
Those were
That
simple.
they are
Right.
בחינת יעקב אשתם, that they are basically like, Yaakov was a תמים,
Mhm.
שהוא בחינת השכל, and תמים have the brains. כנ"ל, היינו לזכות להסתכל על השכל שיש בכל דבר, שהוא בחינת יעקב אשתם, וזה זוכין על ידי התורה. Basically, a simpleton, he sees a stick, he calls it a stick.
Right.
Somebody who's not a simpleton is like, wait a second, what's the trick behind
And
this?
maybe a simpleton, the way the Torah uses simpleton, it doesn't
Somebody who have a straight
like when
mind.
we've in English, we've come to use simple as meaning like stupid. Simple doesn't mean stupid. Simple means straightforward.
Yeah,
He's
we're
a
looking straight.
straightforward
He
person.
sees
Look-
stuff as is.
As,
Face
yeah,
value.
as it is, yeah.
He doesn't see.
Doesn't
and by the
overcomplicate.
way, this is one of the things that Shlomo HaMelech said. לא לחכמים לחם. Not for the smartest.
Smart guys.
Smart guys.
Yeah.
They are not the one to get bread. Why? Because the stupid simpleton,
Right.
somebody comes with them with a deal of like, come invest in Bitcoin. Now nobody wants to invest in it because already it costs so much money. But back then, when people invest in Bitcoin, only the stupid people invested in Bitcoin.
Right.
And then COVID came, and all those stupid people are laughing at all those smart people. Oh, you're like, the danger is the new thing. They cashed out. They don't have Bitcoin anymore, but they have money.
Now the smart people are.
Yeah. They all those stupid people sold all the Bitcoin to the smart people now.
Yeah.
But they are out already.
No, they got.
Anyway, you get the point, right?
But also in general, there's a guy. He's walking in the desert, and somebody comes and says, and he's thirsty. He's dying, and somebody comes and says, "Here's a bottle of water." The simple person takes it, thank you,
And
makes the bracha and drinks it. The smart person goes, "Wait a second.
What is it going to cost me?
Maybe offering me this.
Is
In the
it
meantime,
real? Maybe I have
yeah.
an illusion.
an illusion. Maybe he has an ulterior motive and
Yeah.
some kind of agenda. In the meantime, while he's thinking, he dies of thirst. You
Yes.
know.
וזה, היינו לזכות להסתכל על השכל שיש בכל דבר. Basically, all of these stories was basically to explain that a simpleton is basically somebody who have a straight look at stuff.
Right.
And this is the bchina of brains, that you get the schuz to look into stuff of this brains that it was on everything. שהוא בחינת יעקב אשתם. Basically, that it's the bchina of Yaakov was a tomim. זה זוכין על ידי התורה. Through the Torah you can get. וזהו ההולכים בתורת השם. אשרי תמימי דרך. ההולכים בתורת השם. Basically, the תמימים.
Which,
Is
by the way,
people who
Tomim is
follow-
the same word means.
So basically,
complete and
even if you are a smart guy, Like when we say smart, we're not talking about like, oh, this is a very brilliant guy. We're talking about a smart ass, okay?
Right, somebody is getting like
Chachmas. It's like
yeah,
going
getting like-
around. It's like
no, yeah, we'll do it this way. I got a better way. Yeah. Right. That's
and so when we
it's
say
like a
Tmimei
thought.
Derech, we're talking about like a simple smart, simpleton smart.
Right.
And,
Straight
and through Tmimei Derech, that learning the Torah, that Yaakov Ishtam meant he was sitting in. The Rashi said Ishtam Yoshev Olim, right?
Right. Means
It was
he
like
was learning Torah. That's
was
what
learning
Ishtam
Torah.
means. Yeah. Simple person means.
So basically, אשר תמימי דרך, ההולכים בתורת השם, כי על ידי זה שלא לומד תורה בכוח, על ידי זה שהולכים בתורת השם, כי על ידי שלומד תורה בכוח, על ידי זה נותן כוח למלכות הקדושה. Through sitting down and learning Torah, you give energy למלכות הקדושה, בחינת נון, לקבל מן השכל שהוא בחינת חטא, ואזי נעשה חן, ונתקבל לדבר, ואזי נתן חן והחשיבות ישראל, וכל התפילות והבקשות נתקבלות.
Like you said before, that learning Torah is right. That's tmimus. It's through the straightness. Which interestingly, that's
So all
also
of this
the
is basically an explanation of a paragraph of the Gemara. This says a story about this
The wave
like
came
abstract.
to-
The wave came to take the ship
ship
down,
and
and
put down
all
that
the
white
with the
fire
fire.
with the-
So he's explaining that all of that was basically that the Yetzirah is the one who is trying to demolish the Chen of Am
Right.
Yisrael.
And he does it by
he
coming
does it by
across
coming
like,
across as a
looking
white. as
And
a
how does
white.
it do it? Because it makes you outsmart
Yes.
yourself. And that's why tmimus, straightforward simpleness,
And basically
which is the Torah.
the way to fight it is with the stick, and the stick is the Torah. And this is Ashret Tmimei Derech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
praise
Hashem
is
Torah.
are those who are simple, meaning praise are those who
Basically,
learn Torah.
whoever goes in the
Right.
Derech of the Eibishter is the Tmimei Derech, and this is how you can help yourself raise up your request to Hashem through learning Torah.
Yehi ratzon l'fanecha Hashem Elokeinu v'Elokei Aviseinu sheibana beis hamikdash v'meira b'yameinu v'sein chalkeinu b'seisecha. May the third beis hamikdash be built right on top of that. What they call the golden dome thing.
It's not.
That's where it is. That's where it goes. Right on top of there. Boom, and may it happen immediately.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What these are they put a Lego thing on there.
No, it's not real.
And anyways, that's where it's gonna go right there. And may it happen right away with the building of the third Beis Hamikdash and doing the sacrifices with Mashiach Tzidkenu in Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh right away.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you on 4, which will be the real 3.
Starting not to be such a